posting a pre-match.
Face confinement.
So
He's right.
we are
He's
live
right.
right now. Plenty of cricket happening right now as we speak. Australia 95-7 in the Women's World Cup, and we could possibly see the upset of the history of the Women's World Cup if it
Women's
happens.
cricket.
I am pretty sure with 20 overs left, Australia will try to score around 100
And
runs more,
Bethmuni
and that
out
would be
there.
good.
Bethmuni is
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
Kim Dutt is the opener in her state, who's at number 9. Then there's Alana King, who is a middle order batter in her state. And then there is Megan Shoot, who can also bat. So 150
Yes.
happening, 150, they
And
can't
17
chase.
nil.
170, yeah, 17 nil, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, that's Trisha has just given a brief of what this Australian team is all about and why there's a fear factor in them. But nonetheless, whatever fight Pakistan have put on, this is a very heartening fight for women's cricket at least. And the way they have played, it is really great to see. Result we will talk about that after the end of the match. But yeah, so far Australia are in a spot of bother. They would be a pretty tense. They would be pretty tense on what's happening in the ground.
And that's
Of course,
our moral victory. Everyone's moral
yes,
victory.
100%. Yeah. All the teams play to defeat Australia in the women's World Cup or any women's tournament. That's what the entire motive is. But yeah, coming
Yeah,
to serious things.
but Shubhan, before
Yes,
you start, can I come up with a punchline for you, for
yes,
Trisha,
of
for
course, of
Snehashish?
course.
See, Trisha, there is a women's World Cup. A lot of teams are playing. A lot of teams play women's cricket. At the end of the day, in the end, Australia win.
Yeah, yeah,
I know.
I mean,
We get that.
there's a famous saying. There's a famous saying. All the teams participate to play Australia in the final in Women's World Cup. That's that's what how the history of Women's World Cup have panned out. And but coming to serious things, India are also gearing up for their next 3 to 4 matches. Those are very important matches. So far, India have got lighter opponents. With all due respect, but from now on, the serious matches of this round robin stage will start for the Indian team. They are Trisha and Sneha are in Vizag, gearing up for the India versus South Africa game. Practice, press conference, match day -1. And Bharat, of course, joins us. Shamikda is in front of the Wankhede Stadium, outside the BCCI headquarters, MCA headquarters. Lot of things going in the MCA as well. You must have heard about the fight between Prithvi Shaw and Mushir Khan. Pretty interesting fight between two friends, I can say. They know each other from childhood. Now one play from Goa, one plays uh, from Mumbai. So yeah, but it's an interesting thing going on, and of course we'll talk about the State Awards last night as well. Shamikda was there. Plenty of chatter around Rohit Sharma, what he said about the 27 World Cup, 23 World Cup, his fitness, and a lot more. So yeah, let's start with the Women's World Cup because that's the match has kept me switched on this entire afternoon and the way Pakistan have played. But Trisha, how's the Indian team gearing up for their match, especially against South Africa? Because this is the time where the Indian team will have to step up. They have played decent cricket. I would still rate them 5 out of 10 in this tournament. They have not played proper hardcore outright victory where we can say, what a game, what a day these girls had. But now as the business, not the business end, but the serious matches of the tournament starts. How is this team looking up and shaping up ahead of the game against South Africa?
Yesterday was a full team practice. Everyone was there apart from the captain Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodriguez. Today was an optional training session, and today only Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodriguez have come, and they have come in the whole bus. The two of them have come. So there are quite a few reporters because of the press conference, but I think the joke between me and one of the BCCI media persons generally is that ऑप्शनल ट्रेनिंग सेशन में दो इंडियन प्लेयर्स आते हैं और दो रेड स्पोर्ट्स के जर्नलिस्ट आते हैं वन फॉर ईच प्लेयर so yeah, I think Herman and Jemmy coming actually tells you that probably Sneha Rana will be the one who will give way for Amanjot Kaur because Sneha Rana yesterday had an extremely poor net session against Pakistan. Also, clearly you have seen that she was struggling with landing the ball, the very basic, landing the ball. So I think yesterday, Smriti Kratika had a lovely time batting to full tosses from Sneh Rana. But yeah, Amanjot also bowled, Renuka also bowled. So taking that into consideration, it seems like initially, Shubhan, what we thought was because Jemmy did not come yesterday. If Jemmy did not come to practice today, also that would be an indication that probably Jemmy is dropped and you're going with six bowlers. But what it seems is you're going with five bowlers. But Amanjot will come in place of Sneh Rana, and the top order remains the same. Jemmy and Harmanpreet, of course, had a net session with throwdowns. There were net bowlers. Of course, no Indian bowlers came to bowl, but the net bowlers were there from the Andhra State Cricket Association. Quite a few under 19 bowlers were there, mainly pacers. They played left arm spinners as well. So overall, I think you can see the approach when it comes to South Africa is more about practicing against pacers, and that is understandable because South African spinners. I mean, there is only one good spinner in South
Malava.
Africa. That's Malava. Apart from that, South Africa does not have the spin attack. But if you see pacers, you of course have Marizanne Cap, who's a legend. You don't need to introduce her
Right.
to anybody. And then you have Ayabonga Khaka, Masabata class. You also have the resources of a Nadine de Klerk, who's more of a
Yes.
slow medium pacer. She's not even a medium pacer. She's a slow medium pacer. So you can see that in India's practice. And the other thing that, of course, we saw and was absolutely needed, which Snehashish will tell you, Richa Ghosh's catching drills yesterday.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
Yesterday,
important point.
Richard. Yes, very important point. After the,
Your
it was
audio
so
has
good to
gone.
see that.
Yes. Yes, continue.
Yes,
Continue, Sneha.
yes. I think it was so good to see that the team management has accepted that mistakes have happened, and that is why they have come up with some special drills for Richa Ghosh. He was seen. She was seen having chat with the wicket keeping coach, long chat, and different drills, getting catches from different angles and different sides and all. It's okay that she dropped few also yesterday also, but still I think the hard work was, it was so good to see that she was putting the hard work, and then after a long session of wicket keeping drills, she came out to bat along with Harleen Deol in the nets. So yes, I think the mistakes were evident in front of everyone. I think that is why Team India knows the value of the upcoming four matches, and see the mistake that happened. You still managed to come up with victories like 88 run or a 69 run victory in Sri Lanka and Pakistan. But against top teams like South Africa, Australia, England, and New Zealand, these mistakes will cost you and can derail your World Cup campaign. So I think it was so good to see that special wicket-keeping drills happened with Richa Ghosh, and hopefully she will come back with a better performance in the next game.
Yeah, hopefully, because Richa's catching has been atrocious to say the least. Plus, the outfield fielding has been a bit sloppy from the Indian team. That is what we have been asking from this Indian team to improve upon. We know the batters are talented. You will get batters from the domestic circuit. The bowlers also with the WPL. You are getting new bowlers, Sri Charani, Kranti Gaur. You are getting these emerging bowlers, Amanjot. For that example, they have been doing the domestic grind, but also the WPL has helped them move the steps pretty quickly. But regarding fielding, that is something you can't help. Whether it is domestic or WPL, you have to put in the efforts if you want to improve fielding. But Trisha Amanjot Kaur, you talked about her looking good to go now because in the last game, India actually missed her down the order as well and with the ball as well.
Yes, Amanjot had fever in Sri
Yes.
Lanka. It seems like viral fever has caught up with everyone in Sri Lanka. I don't know what exactly. Could be because it's extremely hot and then it's raining, and then the
Hmm.
press box or the dressing room, whatever, I mean, whoever goes wherever, it's absolutely chilly. I mean, it was so cold in the press box at one point in the evening, and it was so hot outside that the whole, the glass of the press box was actually completely fogged. We could not watch the match. So it was that bad. And Snehashish also caught viral fever. Amanjot also caught viral fever. There are a number of, players who are actually, yeah, they were struggling. But Amanjot looked fit. Yesterday, she had about a good 45 minutes to 1 hour of bowling session. She did look fit. She was bowling good Yorkers. But I think she was bowling way too many short balls and couldn't have been planned because she was almost landing them at their feet. But she was getting that Yorker going well. Look, I think Amanjot, the thing is, if you can play Amanjot and Renuka together, that's your
Hmm.
ideal bowling because Amanjot
Right.
cannot be your strike bowler. Amanjot is your
Right.
supporting bowler who will,
Right.
control, give you more control than wickets. So you need
Right.
both Kranti and Renuka playing. That is where I feel then you have to go and either drop a Hurley or you have to drop a Sneerana. Considering the
Hmm.
batting situation, I would
And
say you're
Harleen
not
has
going to
scored
drop
runs.
Hurley. Right? Exactly. Harleen has scored 46. Yes, she has not converted, but at least got 46. So I think there you are not going to do away with Harleen. And it was clear from yesterday's practice that Harleen is not going to be replaced. And if you look at Sneh Rana, generally Sneh also comes out and bats. Yesterday she did not bat. And she was very disappointed with her practice. You could see that, but she did not come out to bat. As far as fielding is concerned, but Shubhayan, to be very honest, in the last 1.5 years, we have been poor in fielding, right? But
Yeah,
nothing
yeah, yeah,
has
absolutely.
changed in the
No.
training as well. That's my problem. It's the same high catches, it's the same straight catches, and it's the same ground fielding. So if you're not changing anything, some drills need to be changed, and we have been speaking about this. The next day, when Richa came out, what I liked about Richa's drill was there were distractors put in between. Cones were there, wickets with, you have those lines
Huh.
out where you hit and it goes
Rubber
to
wickets.
a
Yeah.
different direction. Exactly. So basically, you were trying to make it difficult for her because she's missing those. But for fielding, that has not changed. It's straight up, you're giving
Hmm.
high catches, straight up, the periscopic catches. That's all. It's the same drill. We need to work on the drills as well. We need to change that. And there are enough coaches.
Mm, that's something we'll keep an eye on India's fielding going forward in this Women's World Cup. Trisha and Snehashish both are saying that Amanjot Kaur is looking fit to go. But Shamik, the another person who is looking extremely fit and is going viral after last night's award is Rohit Sharma. My God, he is looking extremely extremely fit, extremely lean. Thoughts on Rohit Sharma's transformation and your takeaways from Seat Awards last evening?
Yeah, Shubhan, before coming to Rohit Sharma, some domestic cricket update for our
Right.
viewers. Um, a 16-member Mumbai cricket team for the Ranji Trophy will be picked tomorrow. Shardul Thakur will be the captain, but there is no leadership role for Ayush Matre, despite the
Okay.
fact he led Mumbai in the Buchibabu tournament. That is number one. Number two is that Mumbai Cricket Association is not digging into the yesterday's incident between Mushir Khan and Prithvi Shaw. It was a practice game and it was not an
Yeah.
official match. And it was the vibe is that aisa hota rehta hai, so we are not going into it. So this is the vibe. Um, uh, and Mumbai will start their Ranji Trophy campaign from 15th against Jammu Kashmir at
Shamik,
Srinagar.
any chances of Rohit Sharma featuring in Ranji Trophy matches going forward?
Yes, yes. I wanted to keep that guarded for our tomorrow's story, but now you have spilled the beans.
Give us a hint. Give us a hint. Don't give your story away. Give us a hint.
No. See, there is no point. I will write on this tomorrow itself. But
Right.
Rohit Sharma will not be asked or requested
Okay.
by the Mumbai Cricket Association to play the Ranji Trophy because he is
Okay.
retired from Test cricket. So,
Okay.
and Ranji Trophy is the first class cricket. Having said that, if Rohit Sharma wants to play Ranji Trophy, he is always welcome. Any
Okay.
day he can walk into the side, he is always welcome. But the approach should come from him. Mumbai Cricket Association will not make an approach. If Rohit approaches MCA, then the door is always open. This is the thing.
Nice. That's a
And
that's a big update. Yeah.
yeah, I will write on this tomorrow. I'll write on this tomorrow because if
Yeah.
see the fact of the matter is that Gautam Gambhir has clearly said, be it Rohit Sharma, be it Virat Kohli, or be it Shai Sudarshan, you have to play domestic cricket when you are free to be eligible for selection as far as the Indian team is concerned. So there is no privileged class in this Indian team, and reputation matters little. You will be judged on a series basis, and unless you are not playing domestic cricket when you are free, then you are
Mhm.
not will not be considered. Now, Vijay Hazare Trophy is the only 50 over tournament that domestic cricket has, official domestic 50 over
Right.
tournament. So that is a small window in comparison to the fact that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are not playing any cricket apart from the IPL, and ODIs. So there is, I mean, after Australia series, there is a South Africa series a few months down the line. Then
Right.
next summer, series against England. But there is a huge gap. How do you keep your match fitness? So from if Rohit wants to, and it is purely Rohit's decision, if he wants to continue beyond Australia, that is purely Rohit's decision. If he wants to do that, there is a chance, there is an outside chance that Rohit might be interested in playing the Ranji Trophy. There is a counter argument that now you are done with Test cricket, you are gobbling up a place of a youngster, a promising youngster. But I think that doesn't hold water in case of someone like Rohit Sharma because he
Mhm.
has so much credit in the bank. He has so much
Right.
credit in the bank. So that leeway, he has earned that leeway. Rohit Sharma, players like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, they have earned that leeway. So from that point of view, even if Rohit is not playing Test cricket, he is retired from Test cricket. I think to be match fit, and once again, I can tell you, and I can, and Shubhan, you also know Bombay cricket, that everyone everyone takes playing for Bombay as a badge of honor.
Right.
Like it
Right.
is like that. It is all absolutely similar to playing Test cricket. That doesn't differentiate. They don't differentiate.
Very true.
Playing for Bombay is like it's a badge of honor. So from that perspective, keep going ahead after the Australia tour. Rohit is inclined to play the Ranji Trophy. He is welcome, and but he will have to make the approach.
Interesting developments from Mumbai cricket. Of course, Shamikda gave a bit on Rohit Sharma also, and we are waiting for his complete story tomorrow morning. But Shamikda, at the same time, you covered the first test between India and West Indies in Ahmedabad. Heading into the and it was a very like a very poor show. Poor is also an understatement, in my opinion, from the West Indies side. Yesterday, also at the Seat Awards, Brian Lara said, asked this question very honestly upfront whether these guys want to play for West Indies or not. Now we are hearing that Viv Richards might address the entire team before the
Exactly.
second test. So what's happening with West Indies side? Yes, I know that Gautam Gambhir is also hosting the Indian team and the coaching staff for a dinner at his residence today. But what's
Right.
happening with this West Indies unit like this? I mean, no one would want to host them going forward. No one wants to see 2.5 days of test match finishing with an innings victory every time West Indies are playing.
Shubhayan, you know Kotla very well. It is very difficult to finish off a test match in 2.5 days
Yeah,
at Kotla. And I think they will lay out once again a batting friendly surface because Shubman Gill, what he said at the pre-match press conference, he said that see, I don't know, I was not part of the conversation what happened earlier before I came into the leadership group last year against New Zealand. Those rank turners were laid out, but going forward, our template is we will be playing cricket on sporting pitches, something that will have everything for everyone. So accordingly, although the color of the pitch at Motera in Ahmedabad Narendra Modi Stadium was pretty green to start with, and the grass later was shaped up a bit, but eventually it turned out a batting wicket. You know the color of the pitch at Motera
I think Shamik Da has been hit by a
clearly said
beamer. No, he's moving.
they
No, he
do
got
do
disconnected.
do they
He's
even
still there.
want to do they even
Yes,
want to play do they even want to Brian Lara nailed it when he said do they even want to play for the West Indies because he drew the right analogy. Viv Richards didn't play
The
in
team
any
bus.
better practice.
Sorry.
Viv
okay,
Richards
so the
didn't play
team bus
in
is going. Trisha and Sneha Shisha are also showing. Just to cut you off. They're stuck in the time traffic.
Stuck in the traffic, Trisha.
No, no.
No, no, no. They are just leaving. They were just seeing
Oh,
that we
okay.
have come here and we are again doing the video every day. The team bus.
What happened yesterday?
And yeah, yesterday in fact.
They are following. They are
Sorry.
following rep sports.
Yesterday in fact, Harleen was actually looking at us and she was like, "What are these two doing? They have come before us and they are still not leaving." So yeah.
So
Lovely, lovely. Yes, Shamita.
coming back to that, Brian Lara, I was talking about Brian Lara. What Brian Lara said, he said, "See, Viv Richards didn't play on any better practice pitches. So do they even want to play for the West Indies? Money is a factor, but at the same time, these boards, Zimbabwe, West Indies, New Zealand, they still get enough money. West Indies
Mm.
cricket's estimated revenue for 2025 is around $30 million, which is pretty
Yes.
similar to what New
Plus,
Zealand
CPL is also a
cricket.
hit for them. CPL
Exactly,
is
all
also a money
combined.
maker for them. Yeah.
I'm giving you the figures all combined. So $30 million, New Zealand cricket would be earning in that sort of a similar amount. So New Zealand, with a smaller talent pool, came to India last year, handed the host a 3-0 whitewash. So West Indies cricket, I think they have lost it. Money is a factor, but I think they need a radical overall mindset needs to change. That is the thing. And one final thing before I sign off, that you spoke about Seat. He was Rohit looked leaner, fitter, and dapper. But a few words previously, at the Reliance Corporate Ground in Ginsol in Navi Mumbai, he was sweating it out. three
Yes.
hours of practice session. He arranged for 8 to 10 net bowlers from the club cricket from the Maidans, and specifically for an hour and a half, he practiced against the short ball. He's one of the best
Even
bowlers
Varun
in the game.
Chakravarti was there. Even Varun Chakravarti was there to bowl at him.
Varun was there. He was the best T20 bowler. He was awarded the best
Yeah.
20 bowler. Sanju was there. Sreyash was there. So the thing is that he trained against the short ball, and Amit Dubey, you know him, the Mumbai Indians physio. He he monitored the entire training session.
Pretty interesting. So that tells us how much hunger, how much willingness Rohit Sharma has in him to continue to prolong his ODI career. So let's see what this Australia tour brings for us. But in terms of preparation, Rohit, at least Rohit, we don't know about Virat and what's happening. Unfortunately, we don't have a London correspondent. But as far as Rohit is concerned, he's on track. He's preparing. He's leaving no stones unturned to be at the best shape for the Australia tour. Thank you, Shamikta, for joining. If you want to leave, you can. I'll quickly go to Bharat before again going back to Trisha. Bharat, again, what do you want to talk? South Africa India women's match or India West Indies test match? Both are interesting topic at this point.
Interesting topics in different ways.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting for 23 minutes.
Fine, I was just looking at the clock or the mobile. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
I was looking at the score as well, Australia score. They've lost
yeah,
one more wicket.
lost their eighth wicket.
Yes, yeah, in different ways, they are interesting. Let me come to West Indies. I
Hmm.
feel it goes far beyond whether West Indies players want to play Test cricket or not. Because if you notice, when West Indies beat Australia at the Gabba, or when they beat Pakistan last year in a Test match, after how many years, 34 years, they beat Pakistan in Pakistan, you could see that they celebrated long and hard. It
Hmm.
seemed as if they still want, at least some of the players, it felt as if they want to play Test cricket. But I think it comes down to lack of infrastructure. They don't have the facilities. See, for example, look at the kind of pitches they're preparing. They're preparing very turgid tracks, slow tracks with variable bounce. If you are going to play in such conditions, then you're not going to develop good batters. You're not going to develop quality batters. You see the kind of batting with West Indies, very bottom hand heavy. It tightens up. Their bottom hand tightens up all the time. There's a clear
Hmm.
indicator that they play on some very slow tracks, turgid tracks with variable bounce. You could see it when Australia played West Indies in a Test series recently. The conditions were too tough for the batters. So I think they have to look at overhauling the system. That is basically they need funds, they need investment in terms of infrastructure, in terms of facilities. Even if you look at their pace bowling resources, it's not like they're not producing any pace bowler of skill. They're still producing a few pace bowlers who look like have some talent. You look at Shamar Joseph, obviously, is not here, or for the matter, Jaden Seals, or for the matter that Jedia Blades is a decent swing bowler. But they need that kind of infrastructure so that they can harness, they can invest in these fast bowlers, in these batsmen. So I think that is where the problem is with West Indies. So maybe ICC has to do something, or I don't expect them to do much, but that is where I think it comes down to when it comes to West Indies cricket. As far as South Africa, India is concerned, see, one thing that really impressed me with the South African team in the last match against New Zealand was how straight someone like Brits was playing. She was someone not exactly based on what I've seen of her a few years ago. I've not seen much of her this year, but based on what I've seen of her a few years ago, it seemed as if she was more of a cutter. But here she was playing very straight. That means after that heavy loss against England, South African think tank, they have, at least the players, they have talked to each other in the meetings and said that yes, we have to look to play straighter, which is something Heather Knight also did it yesterday in these conditions. So maybe considering that South Africa will put up a good fight because on an overall basis it's still a good side. I understand there are problems in their spin department, and if the top order doesn't fire, maybe they have problems again. But I'm expecting a good match tomorrow. Hopefully, India's fielding will improve, and Richa Ghosh will improve our keeping skills. Because a couple of catches, especially one catch that he dropped in the game against Pakistan, I would say poor is an understatement for that. Some other words should be used. So yeah, hopefully India's fielding, India's what can I say, overall cricket, they will improve on those aspects.
Risha, this South African batting unit, I remember Tasmin Britt's 23 Women's T20 World Cup. It was. She came and helped South Africa win a match. There was this story about her crushed Olympic dreams, but how she overcame and went on to play for South Africa in cricket. This is a special story, but this entire South African team, the way they have bounced back after what happened in their first game, it was so good to see, and credit goes to their captain Laura Woolbard also. The way she kept the calm in the dressing room as well. Against India, what are the threats they possess for this Indian team? Yes, you have good all rounders. Yes, you have good batters. But overall, what are the main threats that this South African team can possess for this Indian team?
I think they have a very strong batting lineup, as you said. And even as far as Malaba is concerned, I think as a spinner she will be a threat for India. But the biggest threat will always be Marizanne Cap as the bowler. The batter might still, I mean, as a batter she's not consistent enough. But the bowling, she was getting swing both ways, in fact, in the last game against New Zealand. And with Marizanne Cap, the bigger thing is Shubham, from ball one, she's on the money. Like there's no freebies, no,
Hmm.
warming up, nothing. She's straight away in the money. Last game, first ball, she got Susie Betts. And what a delivery it was, wicket to wicket,
Yeah.
just swinging in, just nipping back. It was a pace bowler's dream, and of course, that would be one thing where Smriti Mandana will be extremely wary because the exact line that she bowled to Susie Betts, if she can bring it a little towards Smriti's middle leg and bowls that
Hmm.
same line, Smriti has not been able to play that line at all. In fact, against Pakistan, that is the line she missed. And yesterday also, when Renuka was bowling the same line, she was bowled once and twice she had actually edged it. So that is one area which is extremely worrying as far as Smriti is concerned. And the problem with our batting is ultimately if you can dismantle Smriti very quickly, then you are looking at a pretty inconsistent batting lineup. You never know who will come up with the goods at all. So that way, I think Marizanne Cap. The other thing which will be very, very distinct between the two teams is the fielding. If you see the fielding standards of South Africa this World Cup, say for example Laura Woolbard's catch, I'm sure all of you
Yeah.
have seen the replay at least. What a brilliant judgment. I understand that such catches get stuck, but you have to judge the ball, you have to go for it. I think most of the time with the Indian players, they don't attack the ball. They wait for the ball to come to them. And the
Very true.
third thing that will be completely different will be the batting approach, because Laura Woolward is a very technically sound batter, that's perfectly fine. But they rotate the strike a lot more. In fact, you know what? We just had Jemima Rodriguez PC, and I asked
Mhm.
Jemmy that in the Indian team, have you guys spoken about strike rotation? Because 173 dot balls against Pakistan
Yes.
just makes no sense, and the other game you had almost 130 dot balls. So the problem is the only thing that the Indian team has accepted is that the wicket keeping needs improvement. Because straight up Jemima said that, oh, you know what, the pitches were tough, so the strike rate was low. We want to rotate the strike. The batters know their role, but I don't think the dot balls are a problem because the pitch was very tough. Now, I obviously cannot go on arguing in a press conference. I just let it be. But the truth of the story is that is all the more reason if a pitch is tough, you're not going to get boundaries. So you have to get singles. So, I mean, these are the small things that India needs to work on, which they're definitely not working on, as you
Mhm.
can see. Because, look, Shubhain, it's not like it happened in the Pakistan match alone. It has happened against Australia also in the three ODIs. I was there.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
that,
yeah.
also, it has happened.
It has been a
So,
problem. It has been a problem for a while now.
exactly. So I think that is one more thing where we see Indian fielders misfielding because the opponents put pressure on the fielders. They will play with straight bat. They will play in the gaps and then run. So we
Mhm.
will. I think what you can see is skill level wise. I would say the teams are similar. Bowlers, Indians are a little higher than South Africa, but overall, when it comes to the mindset, the execution, and the match awareness, that would be the more of the bigger troubles that South Africa will pose for India.
Mhm. Interesting thoughts. Bharat, what improvements would you like to see in this Indian team, the way they have played so far? Uh, any areas like we are talking about strike rotation, fielding, any areas that you would want them to improve upon?
Yeah, I guess it has already been talked about fielding. So yes, I would like them to attack the ball. Something that I go back to last year when I watched them practice at the Dubai International Stadium.
Yeah.
It was not like they didn't take their chances. Sometimes yes, they dropped in practice sessions, but it felt as if they were not attacking the ball enough. It felt as if they were not going towards the ball. They were waiting for it to come towards them. So I'm not not very sure of blaming the fielding coach all the time. I'm not saying he's doing a great job out there, but it also comes down to a fielder's mindset that you still have to go and attack the ball, and if you have not just in terms of taking the catch, it could be in relation to ground fielding as well, where if you're going to dive, you still have to go and go towards the ball, right? So that is where I think the Indian team is lacking. You could see even with Bangladesh yesterday, they were ready to dive, they were ready to just attack the ball. They showed that kind of commitment, that kind of passion, which was missing with the Indian team, at least in the first two games, or even with the Sri Lankan team, how they have fielded so far. They have fielded better than the Indian team as well. So that is where it comes down to as far as Carp is concerned. Obviously, she's an incredibly good bowler in the power play overs. She has that great fighting spirit, competitive spirit. Actually, when I took her interview a few days ago, I had that sense of apprehension when I approached her because I don't know what kind of person she is off the field, but it turns out she's pretty good off the field as well. That's opposite of what she is basically on the field. So yes, she will be a threat for the Indian team. Someone like Smriti Mandana, economy of movement. She doesn't move her feet much early on. She could get out LBW against Ka. So these are the few threats the Indian openers have to look at, and even someone like Pratika Rawal. When I talked to Shanta Rangaswamy, ma'am, she said she has very good technique. That is something I agree with her. But having said that, in terms of rotation of strike, she hits the fielders a lot. Like just like Georgia Plimer, she hits the fielders a lot of times. That is somewhere she has to improve. Similar with Harleen Deol if she's going to play tomorrow. So these are the few pointers that I think the Indian team has to look at.
Yes,
Yeah,
Risha.
Shubhan, just to add to absolutely, agreeing with Bharat, but this is where, as far as I know, and from my coaching career, coaching experience, also I'll come up with this, that the problem is, uh, we all know that this is the problem. So obviously, the Indian team also knows that. Say, for example, Pratika, as Bharat says, hits a lot of balls, good shots to fielders. So when Pratika is batting in the nets, why don't you put cones as fielders so that she knows that these are good shots, but I'm hitting them to the fielder, so I'm not getting runs. Yesterday, when Pratika was batting, she was absolutely fluent in the nets. And Snehashish and I were having a chat, and Snehashish was like, she looks so fluent in the nets. Why is she not scoring that many runs there? I said, because the problem is in the nets also she is hitting to the cover fielder or she is hitting to the point fielder, but you don't have a fielder. That's why it just seems like, oh, she has hit a wonderful shot. It's not like she's batting badly. None of the Indian batters are batting badly, but they're hitting a lot
Right.
of fielders and you're not getting runs. So the bare minimum I had thought is actually when we came, we saw a lot of cones placed. I thought,
Hmm.
thankfully, there are cones placed as fielders, they have to hit in the gap, but no, they were practicing something completely different with the cones apparently. So yeah, I think a lot of practice methods needs to be updated. I'm not blaming the coaching staff completely, but also I think Bharat, where I disagree a little is as a coach, it's your responsibility also somewhere to keep rediscovering drills and trying to
Hmm.
advance it. Ultimately, it's the execution of the players. That's true. But you also have to, kind of upgrade your methods, upgrade your skills. That's where I think we are lacking a little.
That's why I rate Abhishek Nair a lot. I mean, when he came to the Indian team, his of course he's not part of the Indian team, could not stay there for longer for whatever reason. But the we have normal throwdown specialist with that robo sidearm, but Abhishek Nair with that robo sidearm could do 10 different variations, and that is where years of expertise, years of experience have come in. And I absolutely loved how he trained all the players when he was taking control of throwdowns against a similar batter. So yeah, I completely agree. You need to keep on
And
discovering,
since you said
re-evolving
Abhishek
yourself.
Nair, it's by the way Abhishek Nair's birthday today.
Oh,
So
wish him a very
uh,
happy birthday.
yes, and you have said it correctly. That is why I expect UP Warriors to do very well in this WPL. And I'm not saying that the players are going to change distinctly. There will be execution issues, but at least there has to be an effort from the coaches' side as well, which is what I think is generally missing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. If certain things become your habit, become your bad habit, then you need very some strict action. I won't say dictatorship kind of an action, but very strict action, very disciplined actions to remove those bad habits. Which the men's cricket team have done over the years. We had that same problem of anchor in the batting order, no
Correct.
variations in the bowling unit. Suddenly, you saw some tough steps being taken. If you don't play this way, you are out of the team, and suddenly you saw the transformation of this Indian team winning the T20 World Cup, etc., etc. But yeah, hopefully this Indian team will do well. Tough 3-4 matches coming up for them. I expect them to win at least three, if not all the 4 matches. But yeah, anything less than three and three, I expect them to win against not against Australia, but against South Africa. Yes, I definitely want them to win against Australia. What is the score currently? I think if Australia lose this match, they will be so rattled. They will come hard against all the opponents. They will bash all other opponents and show their frustrations against other opponents. They are 133 for 8. Beth Mooney
But I'll just add
65.
one point.
Aaron Akin 8.
I'll just add one point.
133. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they will win this match against a team like Pakistan because what I've seen of Pakistan's batting, not very sure they can chase this down. But
Hmm.
having said that, it's what can you say? It's an indicator for the other teams that Australia also have a problem against spin because Based on what I saw, they were also pushing at the ball, dropping at the ball.
No, look at the last World Cup. They are a beatable side, but you need to play 120% of your game. They are a very beatable side.
All I'm saying is
Correct.
they also have a problem, a spin problem,
Yeah.
based on what I've seen today. They were definitely dropping and pushing at the ball. That's not something that you expect from a top batsman. And if they had played well today, they could have easily got 200, 210.
Against
Uh,
spinner, not having Grace Harris was a big miss. Has been a big miss for Australia against spinners.
Also, what I've realized, I'll tell you about Sidra Nawaz, for example. Sidra Nawaz against India as a keeper was way too slow. The glove movement. Today, check against Australia, and she has actually worked on it. She is faster. With
Right.
Australia today, they're absolutely disastrous against the spin. Next game, they will come back with tighter plans. My only
Right.
complaint, Bharat, from the Indian team is these are the same discussions that we had about the Indian team when you and Snehashish were in Dubai for the last World Cup. We are discussing the same problems when we are here for the One Day World Cup, and we will discuss the same problems when we are there for the T20I World Cup until and unless we see some extremely harsh decisions which need to be taken. Who will take
Mhm.
that? I have no idea, but it has to be taken.
You need a Ajit Agarkar like a personality in that women's setup, it seems.
Expecting Amita Sharma to be that, expecting
Yeah.
Amita Sharma to be that person because she is absolutely one person who's very straightforward and is going to call a spade a spade. So I'm expecting some action under her.
Let's see, but hope India does well. At least in this World Cup, then we'll talk about
Yeah.
future course of action depending on the kind of results these girls give us in the coming weeks. But thank you so much, Trisha and Bharat, for your updates, for your insights, and we'll keep an eye on the Indian women's team. Trisha and Snehashish are continuously giving you some top-notch coverage. Earlier from Colombo, now back to Visakhapatnam. Bharat is there. We'll talk about the India West Indies test as well. Shamikta will give you the story on Rohit Sharma, what's happening with the Ranji setup, whether he will play or not. Keep an eye on our website for tomorrow for that. And yeah, keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing, and keep watching. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Have a great evening. Bye bye.